Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. It is a festive night. I've got my jingle bells on, my dollar store bright lights around my neck here. So here we are. This is the last Sunday Night Live before Christmas. For those of you that might possibly be here for the first time, my name is Anita, and I come here every Sunday night and talk about all things keto and carnivore and what's going on and answer questions, all that kind of stuff. I have one moderator in the room tonight. I have Melissa, Copper's Carnivore Kitchen. You will see her in the live chat. Bonnie is in Seattle visiting her family. She may or may not show up. We're not entirely sure, but it's good to be with family, so no worries there. And it's fine. We don't really have a super tight plan tonight. It was, the idea was just to hang out and give Christmas greetings, answer questions, that kind of thing. So, for those of you that don't know me, I have lost over 145 pounds following this way of eating, and I feel like I owe my wonderful life to the proper human diet. And I know that there's a lot of people who are in the chat. I can see your names flying by. I know that many of you feel the same way and have had a similar background to me, where you tried everything and this is the thing that worked. I'm going to give a couple of announcements just before we get going here. Oh, I just saw Low Carb Spin. Hello, ladies. And Just Jason Keto is there. Kathy from Kingdom Way. All of a sudden, I'm seeing some YouTube names go by me, so just want to say hi to them. Nice to see you, Jason. I'm glad you were able to make it. So announcements. I don't have a giveaway tonight. We've had Canada Post on strike, and they have a severe backlog. But I'll start again in the first meeting in January, or the first live. Well, I think, yeah, I'll probably do a giveaway next Sunday night is what I'm trying to say. I can't remember if that's in December or January, but hopefully they'll be a little bit caught up. I have two packages here that have been sitting here waiting to go out. And so if you are expecting something from me in the mail, it will finally go out. I'll take it to the post office on the next day that they're open. And you'll get it when you get it, because I think they're going to be slow for the first little while. So the other announcement is, and I just need to get something on the screen here. Let's just get this up here. If you can see this thing. Okay, so what this is, for those of you who have not heard of this, I went to this last year, and Scott, the person who organizes this from Wired for Healing, he asked me if I would mention to you guys that there is a special on for the next week. This is the convention in Tennessee. It's a carnivore convention, and you can see from the, hopefully you can see some of the people that are going to be there. Some great doctors and other fun people. I'm going to be there as well. I'm really excited about it. No, I'm going to be there for the whole week. This special that they're running is for the convention part, which is the 17th and the 18th, I think. Yeah, it's right on there actually. 17th and 18th. So it's on the weekend of that week, where there will be speakers and presentations and things like that. So if you use my code ketogenic woman, and this is not a commission thing. I don't make anything from this at all. This is just, to get you a discount. If you use Ketogenic Woman, you will get a $25 discount on the $295 cost of the convention. And they're going to give you a copy of Courtney Luna's cookbook. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. I have her cookbook and it's great. I really like it. I've made some things from it. So you will like that too. So there you go. That is on for the next week or so. I think he said till the end of the year that special is on. So the next week or so. So some of the people that are going to be there, Dr. Baker, Bella from Steak and Butter Gal, Sally Norton is going to be there, Dr. Ovadia. I'm not going to read them all, but I'm excited. Some of them I have met before and some I have not. And I'm pretty excited to, meet new people there, and also meet not just those people, which is always fun, but people whose lives have changed and who are getting into following the proper human diet. That is always a wonderful thing. So let's. I'm gonna get this off now, and back to me. So. Yeah, Dr. Boz too, Tina. I'm pretty excited about Dr. Boz. I did meet her at KetoCon a couple of years ago, and she gave a really good presentation on cholesterol, which I really enjoyed. And it was funny because I had just previous to that put out my 3-day sardine challenge video that I had done based on her videos. I followed her plan, her 3-day sardine challenge. And she knew that about me, and it was really cool. Like she said she really enjoyed the video and had shared it with some of her. I think she shared it on one of her Tuesday night lives, and so I was really appreciative of that. So that was kind of fun to actually meet her in person and to just chat with her for a couple minutes. So I'll get to do that again, which I'm excited about. So let's I don't know, I'm gonna just go over and see if you guys have any questions. This is kind of an ask me anything. There's no real topic tonight. It's kind of, we're low key, a couple of days before Christmas. Tell me how you're doing. Have you navigated any difficult situations? Are you worried about any situations coming up? Do you need any hints? I'm open to any kind of questions or guidance that you need, or even if you just want to share things that you've been doing over the holidays. Do you get the week off? Have you watched any Christmas movies? That kind of thing. Yvonne, it was so nice to see you here. I am so glad that you and your husband made it home for Christmas. And you're running off to pick up one of your others from the airport tonight. Yeah, that is amazing. I just your story, with your husband and his transplant and making it home for Christmas. It's like a Christmas miracle story. It's one of those feel good stories. So excited for you that you could be. So Yvonne and her husband were 3 or 4 hours away from their home because he was in the hospital, and he almost got waylaid for another week. He was gonna arrive home after Christmas, and I know she was pretty devastated to hear that. But, everything worked out, and so they just made it home yesterday, which is wonderful. So very, very happy that you're here, Yvonne. And when you have to go, you have to go. 'Tis the season to eat meat. Yes, it is, Kathy. Definitely. There's some. Oh, let's talk about meat sales for a moment. I know I've been seeing so many posts on Facebook and even on YouTube from people in the U.S. I wish we had. I'm in Canada. I wish we had some sales like this, but you guys, if you can get out there and buy a couple of prime rib roasts or any of those things, they're like $6.99 and $7.99 a pound. Cut them up in steaks and save them for the new year. January is World Carnivore Month. I'm going to be going back to Lion Diet. You are so welcome, Yvonne. Just such a pleasure to know you. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to lion diet in the new year, January 1st, and I can hardly wait. I've eaten way too much cheese, way too much salami, and like a lot of charcuterie stuff has been happening. It's that season. So I'm looking forward to just having a couple of really good meat meals per day. So yeah, there's a lot. Just I just feel better when I'm just eating beef and lamb, and I'm feeling kind of like I need to get back to that. I want to get back to that. I can hardly wait. So Danny, 21 pounds of ribeye, 16 pounds of New York at $4.97 a pound, put in the freezer today. Go out if you can and get those deals, because it'll help you in the new year to to navigate the costs. Ribeye roast $4.99, Tina. That is cheaper than hamburger. Absolutely. Couple of cases of sardines for the stockings. I love it. Stocking stuffer sardines. That is amazing. I always have a good supply of sardines, and I've been eating more sardines in December. So along with the extra cheese and processed meats and things like that, I've been eating sardines and as well shrimp and oysters, because I will put those on a charcuterie board as well. And yeah, I do like that. So getting my omega-3s up again. And I think I still, even when I was online though, I don't think I had a problem getting enough omega-3s. Here, where I live, these deals that you guys are talking about, the $4.99 a pound and $4.97, not a hope of that. I think the cheapest I've seen, I saw $10.99 a pound for the Real Canadian Superstore on a rib roast. I haven't made it out there to look and see. I mean, that's about as low as it goes here. Usually something like a rib roast, there are some on sale this week that are the AAA, like the real good ones, $14.99. I might do that. I mean, it is what it is here in Canada. These are our prices. And that is the $14.99 for the AAA silver, sterling silver. I can't remember all the categories, but that's our really top quality category. That is down from, usually they're in the $20 and up range. So I'll probably go out and try to take advantage, buy a couple of roasts. I do have a prime rib in the freezer, which I'm going to take out tomorrow to give it a couple of days to age in the fridge and thaw out and all that stuff. I'll probably do that for Christmas Eve, and yeah. Val says $10.88 a pound at the Real Canadian Superstore. You got 2 large roasts. I hope they were good. Let me know if it's worth me driving out there. I've got about a 20-minute drive to get to that store, and is there a limit? I want to know that too. So let me know if you can, Val. Gretchen Hayes says $9.99 at their local store, and I don't know if that's Canada or US. So but yeah, where you can, this is a good time of year normally to take advantage of those sales. The other thing that I've done in the past is gone to Costco and get the full primal and cut that up. So that's that's another option to keep costs down. I do want to make sure that I have plenty of beef to eat in January. And I actually love ground beef as well. Although the ground beef prices are getting up there too here where I live. What you guys are paying for rib roast right now, that's about the same price as our ground beef. and depending on the quality. Okay, so those of you who are in Western Canada, no limit. Great marbling. Okay, good to hear. That might be worthwhile for me to make a drive tomorrow afternoon or the next afternoon and take advantage. So we will see. So thank you for that, Val. Okay, I'm gonna head over to the other chat here. Thank you, Tina, for the best wishes there, and Danny, so good to see you here. I'm glad you made it. Carmen, yes, I'm festive. I've got my jingle bells on. Oh, and here is a question. Okay, so Tanya, how can I get more fat without calories and protein? Without calories. Well, everything will have calories. I did my calculations of what I needed per day to lose weight, and I'm at 1,600 calories. Feel so hungry and still need fat. So I don't know how you did the calculations, whether that was TDEE or some other method. Remember that those are a guideline, and sometimes they need to be tweaked. If you are hungry, that is a clear sign that you're not getting enough fat. So you're right in wanting to boost your fat. But to get the fat, you can add. You're going to add calories, not necessarily protein, depending on what kind of fat you eat. So, maybe at your meals, like, I don't know whether you're on Lion or what you're on, whether you're keto or whatever. But I would eat egg yolks without the egg whites to get more fat. And I would eat things like a tablespoon of butter with your meals, or 2 tablespoons of butter, whatever it is. I don't know how much fat you're trying to add. When I was online, I did get in the habit of having just plain chunks of tallow instead of the butter, because there wasn't butter on Lion Diet. And if you put some flaked salt on it, it's actually quite good. So I started to enjoy that. I do like the crunchy Lion bars for making a higher fat addition to my meal. There is a little bit of protein in those, but I usually have it alongside, say, a fatty steak or something, that when I add the crunchy Lion bar, that really does up the fat, because they're mostly tallow. I don't know if you do dairy, but heavy cream would be a reasonable way to add some more fat, if you're able to do dairy. But just keep in mind that sometimes those whatever that calculator is, they are not etched in stone, and they are a guideline, and sometimes there can be differences person to person on, like, you could have 3 different people that all have the same score, TDE score or whatever, but different reasons why it doesn't work exactly the way it's laid out. Now, I know that didn't make sense the way I just said it, but Kelly Hogan has a video, and she did exactly that. She did a profile of 3 different people, all with the same TDEE score of 1,700, and she explained for each one of those people the reasons why they had to go higher or lower. So it was an interesting video. I wish I could go to her channel and see if you can find it. I think it was last month. But I personally know people who upped their amount that their TDEE told them to, that was their weight loss calories, and actually lost more when they did that. So I take it with a grain. I recommend people calculate it and find out the ballpark, but it really is just a ballpark. So take it with a grain of salt. And if some days you go higher, and especially at this time of year, there is an advantage to going higher. You don't want to be hungry on Christmas Day. when you're faced with, tables groaning with carbs. You don't want to be hungry when you go into some kind of gathering and there's all that food in front of you. You want to be well fed on things that are safe for you. And so, I definitely wouldn't take the chance on being hungry going into those sorts of situations. So just my 2 cents. Hope that it helps. Energy Shot's been watching you and learning from you for a bit. Hello, hi. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for being here. Heidi, I've given away all sugary foods that have been sent my way, not even tempted. That is excellent. I mean, I'm sure that there's people that want it, and we don't. It's just one of those. Yeah, I'm sure that there'll be gifts coming this way as well of sugary things, and I'll do the same thing. Mariana, hi Mariana. For the new year, I want to be eating more calcium and iron foods, carnivore/ketovore. But do you have any food suggestions for those nutrients that aren't? I was going to say sardines and liver. How did you know that? As far as the iron foods, I mean, all of your meats are going to be a good source of that for you. Doesn't have to be liver for sure. And you can definitely, eat meat and hopefully not have. I mean, I used to have an iron deficiency and I don't anymore. I eat liver on occasion, but I certainly don't have it. I don't have it that often. I've probably had it twice in the last 6 months, and I just have it every once in a while when I have a craving for it. And believe it or not, I do sometimes. I go, I just really feel like some liver tonight. So not enough for it to make any kind of a difference in my iron levels. I raised my iron just by eating meat. The other way you can raise your iron is by cooking in a cast iron pan, and not getting blood drawn. Like, don't donate blood while your iron levels are low. At least that's what the Red Cross told me when I went there 2 or 3 times. I used to donate blood all the time, and then at some point they started rejecting me because they do a little test right before they take your blood, and I think I got rejected 3 times in a row, and they said, "Look, you can't give blood," and so they gave me the suggestions of cast iron pan. They said cream of wheat, which of course I'm not going to do. I think they said oysters or mussels too. One of those shellfish. Things like that. And I so the cast iron pan was a no-brainer for me. I started to use that more. And of course, this was before I was carnivore, but I struggled with low iron for a number of years. And now my last blood tests, my iron is perfectly fine. So between eating more meat and the cast iron pan, I got that up. As far as calcium, I mean, I don't know if you do dairy or not. Obviously the sardines are a really good source of calcium, but if that is not an option, maybe dairy. I can't remember off the top of my head what other meats might have calcium or what other non-dairy things I should say. So definitely something to think about. If you can't do sardines, you can't do sardines. If anyone has any suggestions for Mariana, please put them in the comments. Okay. Oh, I got that one already. Donna, just touched down in Victoria to spend the holidays with my daughter and family. Merry Christmas. Oh, that's so cool. So go walk around downtown in the harbor there, and you'll see those beautiful lights behind me at the legislature building. Very well decorated downtown right now. Everything is looking so pretty and festive. Okay, just Jason Keto. If you are just starting keto carnivore under 6 to 8 weeks, you shouldn't be counting calories. That is actually a really good point. I missed the part about that person being new. It didn't register with me, but I would definitely agree with you, Jason, there. The beginning is for healing, not weight loss. And some people do get weight loss in the beginning, and some don't. The thing, what I always hear from people like Dr. Chafee and other people, other doctors, is that you want to make sure that you are nourishing yourself fully, and that might even look like overeating in the beginning, because especially if you're coming from the standard American diet, you are suffering likely from some nutrient deficiencies, and having to get all of those toxins out of your system. It can take a few weeks for sure, and so counting calories in those first couple months even. Dr. Barry says 90 days, just eat till you're comfortably full is what he recommends for the first 90 days. So that, and there's a reason for that advice, because so many people, if they come to a way of eating like this and they're not eating enough, counting calories, it can be really hard, because your body really needs to have that nutrition for reversing some of the damage that has been done from all the ultra processed foods and whatnot. And then it gets on to the business of weight loss after that. But sometimes by then it's too late, because people have thrown in the towel and given up and said, well, I can't do this. I can't eat, this low of calories, and I'm hungry all the time and it's not working, and throw their hands up. So to give yourself the best start, definitely eat until you're comfortably full. I know some people say stuffed. I don't know about that, but definitely, if you're hungry, have more meat, have eggs, have bacon, like have more food, if you're hungry. And I think thank you, Jason, for picking up on that nuance that I missed there. Melissa, Copper's Carnivore Kitchen. One thing we incorrectly get caught up in is that carnivore is a magic elixir for weight loss. Carnivore is about healing our bodies and fat. Extra weight is only a symptom. Yeah, I agree with that too. I think there's a lot of hype about carnivore out there. There's a lot of people who have had massive weight losses, but if you dig into their stories, if you go past the headlines, because and I've been on those headlines too, where someone has put, if they've done an interview with me and they've got my before and after, and look at, she lost this much. There's a story behind that. It took me a lot of years to do that. Some people, like Kelly Hogan is a good example. I mean, you go to her channel and you can see the before and afters, and she's been interviewed by so many of the others. She went up in weight for a while. Like she lost some weight, and then she went up, and she was there for a while, and then she came back down again. This is, this is not you start carnivore or keto or and then you drop 100 pounds in 6 months. It may have happened. There may be people out there who have done that, but the vast majority of the stories that I'm familiar with, there was ups and downs, and there was long periods of time where people stayed the same weight because they were healing. I've had that too. I had a period of time where I was following a higher fat carnivore, because I wanted to do a certain amount of, I wanted to fix my sleep and different things like that. I didn't lose an ounce in those few months that I did that, but I was okay with it because all of a sudden my sleep scores were higher, my ketones were higher. Then when I went, I tweaked a little bit after that. The weight started coming off immediately, when I was done with that high fat. So, there's so many nuances in this. There's so many things that can affect your weight loss. And I feel like, people need to, just look at the bigger picture and, be a little more patient. Jason says that it's mostly men who get that weight loss right away. And I think that is true. And we're, women are built differently, and it's harder in many ways, not harder, longer. We need more patience to make that happen. So thank you, you guys. Eat real food, 1, 2, 3. Your brisket is going to make many at my Christmas table happy. This is the best brisket recipe ever and so simple. Oh, I am so happy. I'm glad that you are making the brisket. I love brisket because it is budget friendly. Sometimes when I buy brisket, it is cheaper or about the same price as ground beef, and you're getting like a really good meat for that. You can make so many good things out of the leftovers. So it is and as far as feeding a crowd at Christmas, there's nothing like a big brisket too. So wonderful. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Sandra. Just curious, a question about one of the previous questions. Why would someone need to limit protein? I don't understand. They may have a reason. I don't know what it is. So, I mean, I don't think there's a case to be made for eating an unlimited amount of protein. But perhaps they had some kind of a reason. We all come from different backgrounds and health concerns. Some people believe, very strongly that people should have at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, of their ideal body weight or their goal weight. So say if your ideal body weight was 125 pounds, you'd want to have 125 grams of protein in a day, and then the rest coming from fat and carbs if you're keto, or just fat if you're carnivore. I think we get too caught up on trying to achieve these numbers. And I think that it's good to know just what the guideline is, like just the ballpark. But, I think we should also remember that this is a process. It's a journey. It's going to take some time for your body to regulate itself again. It's not like you can come, like I did, for example. I had 50 years of, standard American diet behind me, which is also, I'm Canadian. We eat the same standard American diet here in Canada. It's ultra processed junk, grains, sugars, all that stuff. It's no different here than it is in the States. So, we're in the same boat. But if you've been doing that for 50 odd years, like I did, I came to low carb in my 50s. If you've been doing that for over 50 years and you expect that in a few months everything's going to be fixed, that is unrealistic. Bottom line, it does seem to happen for some people, but they are few and far between. Most of us, it takes longer, and it's something that we have to work at, and it's not temporary. That is the biggest thing that I it's not like I'm going to do this carnivore thing or this keto thing. I'm going to do it for this long. I'm going to lose this much weight and then go back to normal eating. So what we're doing here, proper human diet, meat, maybe some vegetables, only if you really want them. But meat and animal fat, that is normal eating. That is what our ancestors did. You know, that's what thousands of years of eating look like for human beings. And so we just screwed it up royally in the last 100 years or so, 200 years. This, like, we're the only species that screwed up their eating like this. All the other animals know exactly what to eat, and they go out and they eat it. You know, the cows eat grass, and the zebras eat grass, and lions eat the cows that eat, or the oxen or the wildebeest that eat the grass. And they all know what to do without instructions, macros, and apps. And we are the only ones that seem to have difficulty with it. When I was little and visiting, my grandparents and aunties, they all lived on farms. They all had the bacon fat can beside the stove. They cooked the eggs from their chicken and the bacon from the pigs they butchered. That was their standard diet. If they ate vegetables, those vegetables came out of their garden. They didn't even have a grocery store in some of the towns that my aunts lived in northern Alberta. If there was a grocery store, it took you a long time to get there. And that was for really specific things. Like they would get some of their pantry items from there, or if you wanted coffee or something. Everything else, you grew it yourself, and at certain times of year, you didn't have it unless you canned it or preserved it somehow. So that was our way of life back then, and we have somehow messed it up with our big supermarkets. We go to the store, fill our carts with things that aren't actually real food. They are food-like substances. They are almost like pretend food. Fake food. So, and that's why we're in this situation. That's why I got to over 300 pounds, because I ate those fake foods. And eating real foods has gotten to me within striking distance of what should be my goal weight. So I'm very happy about that. I probably just went on a total tangent. I'm so, oh yeah, the limiting protein. I don't even know if I answered that. I'm so sorry, but because I don't know that person's reason, and maybe they could, maybe they might say why. Mariana, thank you so much. I do dairy. So Dr. Davis's yogurts, and I can do sardines, but I have sardine fatigue. I get that. I'll try the shellfish and cast iron. Good to know that iron deficiency can be overcome with real foods. Absolutely, 100% it can. I am definitely proof that it can. So I'm very, very happy that you're going to be able to use some of that. Esther Vetty Hunter. Hello, everyone. I don't think I've ever joined a live before. Well, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for sending me the notification that it was occurring. Sardines don't digest well for me. I burp them up. I've heard that before. Some people do get what they call those fish burps from eating sardines. And I think it might be just a matter of getting used to them, because I know the first time I did a sardine challenge, which is 3 days of nothing but sardines, I did get some of that happening, but now I just have them in my regular rotation. It's been a while since I've done a 3-day challenge. Just having them in my regular rotation, like if I, have a regular day and I have a can of sardines with my other food for lunch, I don't get them. And I think it's just because my body has adjusted to having them, because I have them fairly regularly. So, I don't know if that's something, that you want to maybe try again at some point. But there's no requirement to eat sardines, you guys out there. If you can eat them, you're getting a powerhouse nutrition in a can, omega-3s, calcium, all those good things, vitamin D, stuff like that. You're getting some good nutrition. but certainly many people out there have done very well without ever having a sardine. And I in fact did my first several years of this way of eating, lost most of my weight before I ever ate them as well. So it is not a requirement. It is just a nutritional boost, and if you can do it, great. If not, there's so many good. Ruminant meat is the basis of the proper human diet, in my opinion. Whether you're keto, carnivore, low carb, whatever, wherever you are on that spectrum, beef and lamb are the most nutrient dense meat, and those are the ones that I focus on. And the sardines are secondary, although I appreciate them very much because I feel like they really helped my knee inflammation disappear and my plantar fasciitis. So there's two reasons why I love them. Martha, hi Martha. What are you having for Christmas dinner? I'm gonna have a prime rib. I've got one that I'm taking out. That's Christmas Eve. For Christmas Day, there is going to be kind of a big buffet here Christmas Day with many things that I will not be having because one of my sons and his girlfriend are both vegetarian. So I'm making they've requested mashed potatoes. So I'm going to make that for them. That doesn't speak to me. I'm also making a spaghetti squash casserole for them. It'll have tons of cheese and butter and animal fats. I take any opportunity I can to stuff them full of animal fats because, and for this reason, I'm very glad that they're vegetarian but not vegan, because I think at least if I can get animal fats in them, they're gonna benefit from that. So there'll be lots of side dishes. Me, I will stick to the meat. Bacon and eggs will be on the menu for Christmas morning. Bacon has been a long-standing Christmas morning tradition, I guess, for me and my family. So, that's definitely going to be eaten as well. And I'm guessing you're probably going to smoke some meat on your deck there, Martha. Danny has a friend who finally decided to go low carb, but she is struggling with the holidays, especially making the grandkids cookies. So I am making her a couple different kinds of keto cookies to help. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that is a struggle. Low carb, definitely. She could have keto cookies, and it's nice of you to help her do that. And, I certainly did that. My first few years of low carb, I was all about the low carb and keto desserts. And that got me through what I needed to do to carry on and get where, get where I wanted to be eventually. So thank you, Danny. LJM from New York. Not a question. Another hit. Anita, I too made your brisket. It was so delicious. I had so many meals. Thank you. Oh, you are so welcome. Is this the baked brisket, like the oven baked brisket that you guys are talking about? It is, that is like the easiest way to make brisket. For those of you that go and find that oven baked brisket video, that was actually the first YouTube video that we did. And every time I go back to take a look at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, like how, like that, it's kind of embarrassing in some ways, but I'm glad that I did it anyways. So Esther Betty Hunter, is it safe to eat salmon? I've been told that it contains worms. Don't want to eat worms, even if it's cooked. I eat a lot of salmon. I've never seen that. I don't know what that's about. Whether that's an old wives' tale or no, I've not seen one. and I love salmon. I will continue to eat salmon. So I feel it's perfectly safe. Margaret, Anita, you're looking fantastic. Oh, thank you. You are a wonderful inspiration for me, and I love listening to your experience, and it's helping me to make healthful choices. Oh, I so appreciate that, Margaret. I'm so happy to just share what I'm going through. Sometimes it's not easy sometimes to do that, but I feel like I just need to do that. I need to have people know that it is never too late to change their way of eating. I was a late starter at this, and I wish I had known about this 20, 30, 40 years ago, but I didn't. And so I can only deal with what I knew at the time and what I know now. And what I know now, I can't unknow it now that I know it. And so I just, plunge ahead as best I can and try to share my excitement with people out there so that hopefully it rubs off and you guys find out what food freedom can really be. And that's my motivation for doing this. Thank you, Margaret. Librarian loves Rick, Springfield. Is bison buffalo easily found in your grocery store, or elk or venison unusual that Canadians? Yeah, it's not. However, I did, when I was at the store today, I just wanted to grab a couple of things. I did see bison in the freezer of this local grocery store, and I didn't really have, it looked pricey, and I didn't really have time to kind of properly check it out. So, but now I know it's there. And I think that there is a farmer here on Vancouver Island who I have found out recently that they do occasional deliveries into my area, and they have They have a grass-fed bison business. And so I'm definitely going to be looking into that in the new year and see if I can take advantage of that. And yeah, so are you asking because you like that? Like bison and buffalo, elk, those are ruminant meats as well for anybody who does lion diet or wants to have more ruminant meat. And that's a reason why I would like to explore them as well if I can get them. So thank you. Ames today, do you eat oysters? I hear sardines, but not oysters. I certainly do eat oysters. I had a hard time finding oysters. You can get fresh oysters. They're pricey. I do not like fresh raw oysters, and I'm not really sure how to cook oysters. But I did find oysters in olive oil that were canned, and so I do use those, and I like them a lot actually, because I used to really love getting canned oysters from the grocery store, especially around this time of year for entertaining and things like that. I love those smoked oysters. But, I didn't know at the time about seed oils, and they were all packed in seed oils. But there are a couple of brands on Amazon. One is Otter brand, and the other one is Crown Prince, I think. So there's two that I know of that pack their smoked oysters in olive oil. So that's something I do enjoy. Oysters are really good for zinc. I think it's a good thing to add to your diet. Any seafood. I try to add a lot of seafood. Jason, no, I have not, but I haven't actively looked. It's been really busy. So Jason, on his channel, he made homemade mayonnaise, and using fermented mustard in his mayonnaise makes it so that you're eating a fermented food, which is good for your gut. And so I'm very interested in that. And I do believe it makes the mayo last longer as well. So there is a store nearby. There's actually I mean, we have a Whole Foods here in Victoria, but there's also a small store nearby that has a lot of this sort of thing. And so I will be checking it out. And I'm going to make that mayo as soon as I possibly can in the new year. If you guys haven't seen that mayo recipe, it's on Just Jason Keto's channel. Go check it out. Martha, reverse seared ribeye steaks on the Traeger. I knew you'd be doing something like that. Yummy. Bluegrass Girl, hi there. When I hear your voice, I think it's like hearing a friend. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Carrie, Merry Christmas, Anita. God bless you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. I'm at the end of the questions. I'm going to head over to the live chat just because I want to see what's happening in there. Oh, here's something. Estef from Edmonton. Edmonton, all my cousins and aunties live in that area, or most of them do. And I go there quite often these days. Hello there from Edmonton. It's been a little over 2 months for me, and I start to crave something like bread, especially in the morning. Can you suggest anything to buy? Saw Carbonate has sunflower oil. Yeah, stay away from those seed oils. I take it you are keto. There are some keto breads out there that you can make yourself, and some carnivore breads as well. So I think, and I have a few on my channel, a few of the breads. There's a couple of breads that can be made with protein powder, that kind of thing. So I would explore that route. The store-bought keto products generally do have very suboptimal ingredients in them, plus they're super expensive. So I feel like they're not really worth it. I have tried in the past, before I became carnivore, while I was still keto, I did try the carbonate bread, and I found it, if I had one slice, I was okay. 2 slices gave me it did a number on my stomach. I just did not feel good after. So that kind of right there, tells me, there's a problem with the ingredients. So I hope you check out some of the recipes out there. Indigo Neely also has some fantastic keto bread recipes, and some of them are even bordering on carnivore as well. Check those out. Buns too. Patricia says here that, oops, no, that wasn't that one. Yes, you are a rock star, but I meant to highlight something else. Chris Cooking Nashville came out with an amazing carnivore waffle recipe yesterday. You can use that like bread. So and that reminds me that the other thing is you can use chaffles at like bread. So chaffles are like a waffle. A lot of times you'll see they're round. Again, Just Jason Keto comes to the rescue. He has got so many different chaffle recipes on his channel, and they make amazing buns for burgers or grilled cheese sandwich. I used to make chaffles, and I would fry them up after I made them, I would fry them up with cheese in between in butter in a pan to get grilled cheese sandwiches, and they were super good that way. So definitely go check out his channel and make some of those chaffles. So speaking of, I saw something in here. Yes. Speaking of Jason, he rolled the wheel of membership, and it looks like Val L was gifted a membership by Just Jason Keto. So very generous, Jason. Thank you so much for doing that. And Val, welcome to our little corner of the world. If you go to the membership tab, you'll see where we have private member videos and Zoom meetings and whatnot. So check that out. Thank you for that, Jason. I'm just going to head back. We have 5 minutes approximately. Let me see what is happening over in the live chat. Oh, yes, iHerb. Don't forget about iHerb for you Canadians, especially when you can't find certain things. They carry all kinds of things. I never thought to look at them for fish. I generally get mine from the grocery store or from Amazon, but Tina is saying they carry sardines, mackerel, oysters, clams, and salmon. You do them for Omega Monday. Yes, Omega Monday is tomorrow, by the way. So I'm going to be having some seafood tomorrow for sure. But thank you about the reminder for iHerb. Let's see, Ivy. Hi, Ivy. Lunchtime Monday. So Ivy is from New Zealand, I believe, and it is lunchtime there. She just had sardines with anchovies. She likes the anchovy taste much more than the sardines. And she's got ribeye and a Scotch fillet. Okay, that is awesome. Let me see who else is over here. Risa, she makes her brisket in the Instant Pot. I have not tried a say a 4 or 5 pound brisket yet in the Instant Pot. I haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna have to give that a try. She says it's easy, quick, no work. Just set it and walk away, and then put it on the keep warm. It is the best. Okay, well, something new for me to try. Okay. Let me see who else we have here. Val is doing rib roast with all the fixings for Christmas dinner. She has a large roast for 4 people and a little one. So that's wonderful. Risa says she likes sardines. She has 2 boxes of sardines from Fish Wife brand. One is in lemon and the other with hot pepper. Thrive Market has them on sale sometimes. Okay. So this is all good. I'm just going to head back over to the low carb spin. I agree. Jason is the chaffle master. Nice to see you guys here. I know you guys put out, I saw the thumbnail and I was going, oh, I better not go look at that. Scotcheroos or some recipe like that. So for those of you needing a new keto treat to make, go check out Low Carb Spin's latest recipe there. Their recipes are all very professional and good. Carmen says oysters in the shell are easy. You just roast them in the oven in a pan or on the grill outside for a few minutes. When the shell begins to open, they are done. They steam. And I obviously need to talk to Carmen because I can get fresh oysters around here. And so I'm going to be talking to you about getting some ideas and tips for oysters because I know you love your oysters. Let's see. Danny, Merry Christmas. Anita, you are a gift to all of us. Oh, thank you so much. I am so glad that you are on this journey with me as well, Danny, and everyone else here who has participated tonight. It's a smaller crowd than usual, which I knew that would be the case. And that is perfectly fine because I always want to be here on a Sunday night, no matter what, whether it's 10 of us or 1,000 of us. I don't care. I know that if 10 people show up, there are people that want to hear about this, want to ask questions, and want to get some support in this way of eating. And I appreciate that very much because I'm the same way. I need to be in constant contact with like-minded people who are doing the same thing that I'm doing. And so that's why I appreciate all of you so much. So thank you everybody for joining me on this Sunday night live, last Sunday live before Christmas. I will see you guys next Sunday, and then again in the new year we will keep this going. Get ready for World Carnivore Month coming in January, and Merry Christmas to all of you. So good night everybody. Love you all.